All right, let's get this thing started. Don't allow. Don't allow. Welcome. How was everyone's weekend? Do we all have a good weekend? To the one person, did you have a good weekend? So let's do some animation. I am ready to animate something fun. I missed last week. We didn't do a live stream. And I think, again, like the previous week before last, let's do something fun. Let's do something that's outside the norm. That's just a fun experiment in animation to figure out dynamics, acting, storytelling, all of those things that make animation fun and wonderful. So let's work on that, and I'll be mulling over some thoughts, some ideas in my head. If anyone wants to shout out maybe something that they're working on, and we can do a little experiment. We can do a little test to see, what we can animate. So, again, let's do something fun. So I recently watched a lot of these CalArts grads. They released their short films on YouTube. I don't know if anyone has had a chance to watch some of them, but they're really good. And it's encouraging to see like the talent that's coming into animation, because whenever somebody does something that's really remarkable, you have to be able to take that and be like, let me up my storytelling, my animation, my style, and you have to allow it to influence your quality. And so I saw a lot of these CalArts students releasing their short films, and I'm like, man, they're so good. And it makes me envious that I wish I had that kind of talent when I left college. I don't even think I have that talent now, what some of these kids are coming out of college with. So it got me inspired. It got me inspired to be like, I want to be a good storyteller like these kids. So I don't know where I'm going with that, but it's just like a topic, a little thought. So go check these short films out from anyone who's from CalArts, and they're pretty cool. When I graduated college, it was a lot less about storytelling. And again, I went to a college that has been shut down. They were exposed for defrauding students, and they no longer exist. So my degree is worthless. It was worthless when I graduated, and now it's actually worthless. So that's fun. So if anyone else has gone to the Art Institute, I commiserate with you. It was not a good school. Anyway. Oh yeah, back to what I was saying. So I graduated, or what my senior year in my college was. It was about making your demo reel. So you want to graduate with a demo reel. It's kind of like your business card. It's like, this is what you're going to show any potential employer. This is my quality of work. This is what I'm capable of. And their idea of a demo reel was, let's do like small clips of just random things that have no connection to each other, so that you can kind of demonstrate your overall skills. And that makes sense. That's all fine and good. But I think as animators, what you should really be striving for is good storytelling. It's not so much about the way something looks or moves. It's about how you make the person watching it feel. And that was never, not once, explained to me or even taught to me in college. So that was one of my biggest downfalls, was that I never quite understood why my animations weren't like connecting. And it's because I didn't have a good story. And even now, like, I still animate that way. It's frustrating, but like that's just kind of the way that I was taught. And so sometimes I don't think about story first. I'm really trying to get there to where I put the characters' motivations ahead of the acting. Anyway, but that's what with the CalArts short films is that they're creating a story and they're using animation to tell that story. So enough of that little rant. Has anyone also seen the trailers for? I just saw this too. It's called Robot Dreams. Oh my gosh, that looks amazing. That I really want to see that. I think it's coming out soon. If you haven't seen the trailer for that, go check it out. It looks like a phenomenal animation. Not just animation, but like the storytelling in it is just. I can tell it's going to be one of those hard-hitting kind of animations, which is good. Anytime somebody creates something that's got good storytelling, good pacing, overall just appeal, and they use animation to do that, it makes me so excited because we got to get some better animation out there so that other studios or business executives go, hey, there's something to this animation thing. Let's start funding more and create more projects. So anytime someone does something that's top notch, I'm for it. All right, I got my little rant out of the way. Now we get to figure out, what are we going to animate? What are we going to do? Like I said, I want to do something fun. I want to get those creative juices flowing and do something. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. You wouldn't be here if you didn't know what I mean. So I'm just going to open up a file. I'll do, where's that character? I got this character that I'm just going to start using. This is going to be my default character. He's not open yet. Let me go find him. I can't think while I talk. I'm not good at multitasking. When I talk, the words come out of my mouth, but the thoughts in my brain disappear. Here we go. Come on. And I know you're not seeing anything. You're seeing me. So I'm just working. Yeah, before I share my screen, I want to figure it out. I want to figure out what am I going to animate? So it's going to obviously be character driven character. And I think so 2 weeks ago we did kind of a Spider-Man inspired animation. And that turned out okay. I know some people had some concerns with the way the movements were looking in the jump, but nothing I do here, just so you're aware, nothing I do here it's not at the professional level. I'm doing this as quick as I can just to get something out there. And for my standards, it's going to be good enough. You're getting the bare minimum. Okay. Now, if I was to take what we're doing here and then want to submit it to like a client or something, I would polish it up. So we're getting the foundation laid out, and that's what you're seeing. So if you go back and watch like my other live streams, it's not great. It's good, but it's not great. So that's what we're aiming for. That's what I'm trying to achieve, is good enough. And I think we can all agree that good enough is okay. So yeah, what's going to be something exciting that's good enough? I think we could do... I have a scene where I need some characters eating, but that's not fun. That's not exciting. Like eating some pizza. I mean, you can make it fun. If we were going to make eating pizza fun, how could you do it? It would have to come in like the subtle moments of eating something like pizza. Yeah, I couldn't do that. And I don't want to do something too like action packed, although those are fun shots to do. Just jumping around and running. Those are exciting. I wonder if I could do one where there's like a big camera move, you know, like coming over the character's shoulder, and he like turns and follows the camera a bit. Has a little bit of like, you know, bad boy energy. I'm cool, too cool for school. Man, guys, I'm just going to be ranting here until I figure it out. You know what? Let's get into the program, and then we'll go from there. Does that sound good? Let's do that. All right. I'm going to share my screen. Let's get this up. Wait, how do I do it? All right. So, this is the character. Actually, before I move forward, I don't like the way his head rotates. So I'm going to change a little bit of his head movement. So you see how when the head rotates, his eye kind of does this flattening thing over here? I think that's okay to give, you know, a bit of that 3D effect. You can see his eyes kind of separate there. That's not good. Anyway, instead of doing this kind of flattening rotation effect on the eye, what I want to do is I want to keep the eyes big. This is going to be a very cartoony vibe. So what I'm going to do is go into the head turn. I'm going to find this eye. That's my right eye. And I'm actually going to delete any kind of like scale and movement on that. And then I'll also, on this one, I'll delete scale and movement. So now we're going to keep our eye nice and big, almost as if it hasn't changed at all. And what we'll do is we're going to pull it back right here. And maybe I can squash it just a little bit, just to make it feel like it is kind of going back in space. And I think that'll work. The next thing I got to do is change the way this pupil moves. So I'll move it around just a little bit. I'll flatten it up. Maybe scale it down just a bit. Okay. So that looks better. Doesn't that look better? It's much more cartoony. It feels like the eyes are like just placed on top of the face and not sunk into the skull. Anyway, that feels better. So now what I got to do is adjust the nose too, because it's got to come behind that. Maybe I'll squash it up a bit. There it goes like that. Okay, it starts to break right here. So pull this in. All right. Cool. And then I'll do the same thing to the other side. And then we will be all set. So I'll grab this eye. And for those of you who have been asking me about rigging, now you can get a little feel for how this whole thing kind of works. Or at least see it. Obviously, there's quite a bit more to it. But essentially what is happening here is this is called a smart action. And so you create these bones that control a smart action, which is a movement within the body or a movement within the character. And so I have these smart actions set up for the head rotations, some of the arm bends. And what you're doing is you're actually like, you're kind of animating the way that the body will move when you control the bones. All right, so that is that. Now let me just adjust his nose. Feels kind of like it's separating from his face here. All right, that's good. Cool. All right, now that we have this set up, I feel like our rig is... Our rig's ready. Let's see how this head turn looks. Oh yeah, much better. Those eyes look so much better. They don't deform in that weird way anymore. Cool. So now that this is set up, let's go ahead and animate it, and let's have fun with this guy. Well, let me make sure the, yeah, heads up and down is good too. So let's go ahead and change his expression a bit. There we go. We'll open his mouth up. So now the big question is, what do we do? Did I fix his body? Oh, I didn't fix that. All right, let me fix his hood too. Son of a gun. All right, that one works. Let's fix this. There we go. Okay. Oh, I didn't get those either. All right, I'm not going to go that far. I will just do this little hood here. Rotate it down like that. Make sure it's linear. All right, that's good enough. So now the question is, what do we want to do to this guy? So these are all working. That looks good. His arm comes up, adjusts his shoulders nicely. This bends, his body bends with it. Cool. What could we do that's cool? I think what I said earlier was give him some attitude. Some batitude. How would we give this guy some attitude to make him look kind of like yeah, I'm a bad dude. Maybe like that. Yeah, he looks pretty cool, doesn't he? So cool. What else could he be doing? I guess his arms could be crossed. Like he's giving himself a hug. No, that's not how you cross arms. Crossing arms is a tricky one, isn't it? Because you got to get it just right. And also your rig has to be capable of like crossing them over. So let's see, it goes this one into the right in the pocket of the left, and then left comes over and into the pocket of the right. Man, that's tricky. I've done it before, and every time I do it, it's always the same thing. Like, so much work to get there, and by the time you finish it, you're like, how did I even achieve this? It's like, I don't ever want to try this one again. Crossing the arms with a rig it's a nightmare. And yeah. All right, what are we doing? Oh, you know what? I have a new set of hands I want to try out. So this is going to be on the spot. I don't know if it's going to work. I have a whole set of hands that I created in a different rig. So I'm going to open that rig up. I'm going to see if I can import them here and see if they connect and it works. Let's see. Whoops. Let's see if we can open recent. Is this the one I did the hands for? I don't know if this is the one. Let's see. Oops. Yep, that's the one. All right. Let's grab this dude's hands. I'm going to grab this whole folder here. What we'll do is we go edit, copy layer, and then we'll come into this guy. I'm going to find his left hand. And I'll select it so that hopefully it'll go right above it. And we'll go paste layer. So now, if I turn off the old one, and I come here to this rig, nice. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So now they're all set up. So all of these hands are new. That's awesome. I can change the elbow here a bit. All right, let's do the same thing for the right hand. So I'll go into this kit here. Grab his right hand. Let's copy the layer. Oops. We'll come here to this guy. The right hand. And then I'm going to paste it. Paste layer. Cool. Now that one should work. Let's see if all of those hands came in. I do, if I remember correctly, need to adjust the rotation of this one because it doesn't go all the way. Doesn't go all the way for my hand switch. So I've got to go here to 30 and come all the way up. We'll push it to 60 here. Cool. So now that should work. We'll get all the hands that we need. And that, my friends, is fixed. Cool. All right. So now we got a rig that is all set up. I won't have to ever do that again. Let's change this hand. Cool. You see that? I love the way you can just foreshorten the arm like that. Because this one, it feels like the elbow's back too far. But if you pull it forward, now it just feels nice. See, this one feels like the elbow's up too high. If you pull it down, perfect. And you can still animate, and it, look at that, rotates in the right spot. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. All right, I gotta change this color here. All right, guys, we got to start animating something. So what am I going to animate? What do I want this guy to be doing? Let's make him look a little bit more mischievous. How do we make that happen? So, got this character. This happens every week. I get in here and have no plan, and I honestly don't know what to do. Hey, Arthur, welcome. Thanks for joining me. You have any suggestions on animation that we can get the ball rolling? I'm just trying to figure out what I want my character to do. And like I was talking earlier, if you happen to see it, this kind of comes down to good storytelling. Like, and again, my mind has always been, what can I do with animation to make it seem cool? When the actual question I should be asking myself is, what can I do with storytelling to make it feel cool? Oh, you just say, yeah, exactly. What's the story around this pose? That's a good question. And that's the one we're trying to solve. What is the story around this pose? Maybe he's got like a cool magical crystal, or he's got something mysterious, and he's like using it like a magical power, like this crystal orb. That could be cool. And we can try to like figure out how do we do some glow effects and like lighting techniques to really sell the idea that this orb is glowing. I like that idea, mainly because I'm working on a story that has those elements. The mystical, magical world of crystals. I don't want to go too deep into it, but have you guys ever heard of a piezoelectric crystal? I wish that in my high school science class, my teacher taught me about these things. I wish that they had explained science is not just about, talking about these nucleus and molecules that you can't see, but there's actual practical effects that can happen. If you take one piezoelectric crystal and another piezoelectric crystal, which is like a quartz crystal, and you take them and you rub them together, do you know they glow? They actually glow. It's called like a cold energy, or like, yeah, something like that, cold energy. And it creates this like fire inside the stones. Inside it's glowing. Oh my gosh. If you have the opportunity, find two clear quartz crystals and rub them together in the dark as fast as you can. You'll see them just start glowing. It's amazing. My teachers never taught me that. And had they taught me that, maybe I'd be a scientist. But they're lost. So anyway, when I found that out, it was just like amazing. So the idea that crystals have some kind of like energy to them, I don't think it's that far off. And there's a lot of people like Einstein and Nikola Tesla that talk about crystals and how they, there's like a mathematical beauty behind them. I mean, Nikola Tesla was basing a lot of his theories off of the idea that you could create, he called it an infinite ocean of energy. And I think there's another name for it. What do they call it? I can't remember. So Nikola Tesla believed that crystals, they held this, like, they were like a living organism that you couldn't understand the life of a crystal. Anyway, it's fascinating stuff. So crystals, I like the idea of using crystals. For a long time, I always thought crystals was, and I still think it is. Crystal is a cheap gimmick that you can put in your plot to get you out of a bad situation. So it's like you're telling your story, and it's, oh my gosh, these characters are getting, beat up or defeated. How do we fix the problem? A magical crystal. And all your problems are solved. So I think that there's bad storytelling with crystals, but I think that you can do it properly. Sorry, another rant about crystals. Oh, let's do it, because I have this orb effect. Perfect. That's what we'll do. I'm going to bring it in and show you. Let's see it. I wonder if I can actually just pull it in as is. Let's see it. Here's the orb effect I created. And this is almost exactly like oh, he was on the run. Now he's giving us his backstory and focus more on animation. Some more facial expression. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get some like good facial. That's a great idea, Arthur. Oh no, I'll just do the light. Okay, I'm going to import this. Hopefully it doesn't run too slow. And I'll give him a black background. This way we can see the orb. I'll give you a little backstory. The orb is made with liquid shapes. And so I have these solid shapes that are being affected by other shapes. So it makes it look like it's kind of like pulsating and moving. So liquid shapes is a really cool way to get some practical effects. Let me pull this to the back. Let me also move the light visibility over. Why is this off? Get on. Okay, so here's the light orb that I created. And as we go through it, you can see it's pulsating. It's got these beautiful, vibrant colors. I'm going to scale it down so it would be, something like here. And what we can work on is, oh, I love this idea. We'll work on maybe some lighting on his face, some facial expressions. Almost like, he feels the power and he feels how cool he is with the ability to harness whatever this is. Why did that not scale down? That's interesting. All right. For some reason, whenever things get off, oh, there we go. Okay. All right, so we got this light effect. It's doing its thing. So let's have his gaze upon the orb at first. All right, so he'll look down at this. So we'll need to open up the shape here a bit. I'll have to raise the eyebrows a bit. Okay, so another question will be, do we start with the orb up in his face, or does he pull it up to himself? I feel like maybe he pulls it up close. Maybe it's not like super far down, but it's down at the bottom of the screen a bit more. So let's do that. All right, so we'll keep it here. Maybe we'll move it down a bit more. Okay. What's up, Vertex? What's going on? So I think what we've kind of stumbled upon is we have this character, and I think essentially what the character is capable of doing is harnessing this energy. We don't know what it is yet, but there is some kind of an energy, and he feels like a badass being able to harness it. So I want him to have a little bit of attitude about it. We're gonna Arthur brought up a great point that we can do some good facial animation exercise. So what we're going to work on is a lot less body dynamics and a lot more facial, which is great. I think this is going to be a great experiment. So what we're trying to do is, one, we got to work on posing, because right now he doesn't have a great pose. I want these elements to read. So as he pulls it up, he might turn his body a bit to take the orb off of his body, so we can get a good contrast in his silhouette. So let's do that. So we'll go from 0. And then maybe here, we'll have him pull his arm up. All right, now that would come this way. Okay, that looks good. And then the orb will come up here closer to his face. Okay, and then we'll turn his body a bit towards the orb. And the head will come down to look at it, maybe turn just a bit. That might be too close. Is he a magician, or is it more scientific? Is he producing the orb from within air, or is he taking it out from somewhere? So he's not a magician. This would be a practical effect that's happening, not conjured by him, but this is something that's produced by a crystal. Okay, so he's able to utilize whatever this energy is because of a crystal. And now the crystal's not in the scene, but that's okay. You can always explain that later, or even explain it away. So for right now, this cool effect, whatever he's doing, this is because maybe we'll pull his arm up. That looks good. There we go. So we've got this thing kind of moving. And as it comes up, maybe he'll squint a bit, because remember, we're doing some cool some cool facial animation here. Okay, he doesn't look like he's squinting right now. So what can we do? Again, we're kind of limited. Yeah, I'll just leave that up. We're limited with what our character can actually do. So let's just try to get it looking good enough. So from here, he's going to pull it up. He's going to squint. We'll have some eye movements. Here, maybe he looks around a bit. Yeah, I feel like his eyes aren't quite on it. Oh, the reason I asked this was to influence the start of the animation. Maybe the orb drops from the air and he catches it with his hands or some other form of telepathy power. These are all great points. I think for this one, what I want to try to do is just get right into the meat of it. Because I feel like typically when I do these things, I feel like there's a long lead up to the punchline. I don't want to get right to the punchline. Just make these quick. So I think him already holding it will work. And then what we can do is maybe he can I don't know, do something cool with it. Maybe he throws it. Maybe we go into the orb and the light just amplifies and it gets bright, and then all of a sudden we wash out with a white light. We'll think of something cool with the transition we can do. Let's see, can the head come down? Kind of start to lose the way his head looks a bit. All right. So I'm just going to keep this whole thing going. I want there to be some movement in his arms, like he's kind of manipulating it. And then we'll move the orb around a bit. Almost like it's kind of floating around. Let's go ahead and smooth all this out too. All right, that's moving too quick. So I'm going to stretch these frames out a bit. Oh wait, that one doesn't need to stretch because that one's coming up quick. All right, so we've got these movements happening. Okay. I think what we'll do is we'll keep it like this. And maybe just for some interest, what we'll do is we'll have him hold it on this side. And then he'll turn. And maybe as he turns, he'll hold it up with one hand. Oh, and then he could like toss it. I don't know. Maybe showing off that, he's in control of whatever this thing is. So before we have him maybe turn, maybe I'll have him blink and look at camera. So we'll put in a blink right here. That would be here, there. Eyebrows come down a bit. And then we'll open these up a bit. Eyebrows will come up. And then at this point, he will be looking up at camera. And we're just going to keep going with the polishing of this kind of movement. Okay. I wonder if we can move his shoulders. Now that messes it up. All right. I'll go ahead and, in order to make this feel more like he is coming down into it, we'll go like this. Okay, I'm going to move that guy. There he goes. He's holding it. And then right here at about maybe holds it, maybe about at 1 second or so, we'll have him do his turn here. So then he'll turn and hold it up. And maybe he'll look at camera at that point. Okay. So then right here, I'll put a keyframe, and then we'll turn his body this way. This arm will come down. We'll move this back into place. Head will come into this direction, turn over here. And at this point, the arm will be in this movement. Okay. Pull that back, and we'll fix those hips. Okay. So he's holding it. Don't like how sometimes these keyframes are not animated. Okay. It's like, what did I do? I did a keyframe across the whole thing, and then all right. So he comes down, and he'll turn. Now this turn doesn't look good because there's a couple reasons why. So move this over. We'll go over here. Okay, why did this arm go down? Okay, so in this movement here, when it comes up, right here, there's a couple of things we're going to have to change. So we're like this. I want to scale it down and maybe even pull his hips down a bit too. So that he's kind of like dropping. And then the scale will reset. There we go. So he drops, and then he comes up into position like he's holding the orb. So let's go ahead and move the orb. Where do we move it? Right here, maybe? Pull it around, and then up. So this is where he'll be holding it. Let's smooth out these frames. Okay. So he's got it. He holds it. Overall, that movement might be a little too fast. So let's see if we can easily just stretch it out. Let's see what happens. If we just pull this over, what does it look like? Cool. It's not too bad. I feel like I want this orb to come a little closer to his face. Like he's pulling it up in front of his face. And then over. Okay, and now I'm just going to follow this whole thing with his hands. Now I wonder which hand I should hold it with, because I guess I could have this arm come across. Let's see. I guess what we could do is move this arm over and up to hold it while this arm comes down. That might not look right. Let's see, let's get a different hand on there. Nah, that doesn't quite look right. All right, we'll go back. All right, and this arm will come up because it is holding the orb. I'll need a new hand for this one. Is that the one? That could work. Okay. So he's going to move it around. And this is getting really sloppy. So I'm going to work on this back arm first. So let's get all of this stuff. I'll delete all that. Let's see. I feel like this arm might want to come up a bit. Maybe. Let's find a better hand. That one might work. Okay. You know what? That arm shouldn't be... it shouldn't really be coming off the orb. So let's see. How do we get this to stay at the orb? All right. You know what? I'm going to keep that there, and maybe I'll move the hand a bit. This is getting messy. So this hand we'll put closer to there and there. And we'll lift up that arm. All right, now that I'm in this, I think an easier way to do it will be to have the orb come down low, just because the elbows are getting like really tricky to figure out how that movement foreshortens in front of his body. So what I'm going to do is drop the ball here. Drop that ball. And then come up. And I feel like that gives maybe a little bit a cleaner of a movement. Now let's go back and see if we can fix all of this stuff. because it is not looking good. So right here, the arm is going to follow the ball. And the question is, how do I want it to do this? Let's change this hand around. These need to be step. Let's go step, step. It goes from there. Okay. Now we can pull this over. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, let's do that. We'll pull the elbow out. Okay. Let's see if maybe a different hand would look better. Just see what our options are. Yeah, maybe that one. Let's see. Gonna come over here. Got to change it again. Let's find another hand. Make it step. I guess I could switch here. I don't think I like that shape right there. All right. So we're getting a movement. I don't know if it's the right movement, but it's a movement. Let's see what we do. Let's get this arm bent down a little bit more. Oops. So that I can change that elbow position. All right. So big switch here. So it comes up. The elbow. Just moving too quickly in that direction. I want to keep it out this way a little bit more. Jeez, this thing is freaking out. Okay, that might look a little better. All right, this is not looking as cool as I was hoping. And I've spent so much time on that elbow. I'm gonna put the arms on pause for a second. I want to make sure that his body language, which is what his shoulders and his head are doing, I want to make sure that works first, because I don't want to go back and do these arms again. So right here, I want to scale the head down. You can drop it. So he's looking at this thing. And right here, he's going to hold it a bit. Could scale the head up to meet it. I think I'll keep the head maybe turned towards the camera a bit. Down. Okay. So what's popping here? This guy. We'll smooth it out. Oh, there you are. I thought I'd fix this. Okay. All right, right here. Let's do we'll do the blink in here somewhere. I'll have him looking at the orb at this point. Okay. So look over here, be looking up at it. I guess his eyes would need to open a little bit more. Okay. So now he's kind of like going to be shifting this orb over. Something about it still doesn't feel, I don't know, doesn't feel very like moody or eerie. And again, we're just going for okay. We're just trying to get by. That's what I do. That orb is moving. Why are you moving? There you are. Get out of here, keyframe. All right, so now he's over here. I think part of it is he kind of like the movement of his body is a little too like check mark angular. I want that nice deep, kind of movement. And I think some of that's going to have to do with the scale of this guy. I think he scales up a bit too much. Let's see if we can go into this guy. If I make this Bezier, can I fix that? Yes, I can. So he comes down. Let's see if we can do the same thing with the head. Oh, these aren't even smoothed. Okay, I'll make this one Bezier. Crank it over. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's looking a little better. The movement in this arm, I'm just going to completely get rid of. Okay, I'm just going to go straight down with it. So this will reset. This will come down. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. That's going to be my easiest option, just to turn it all around. Okay, and let's make this hand just be different. That looks good. Cool. Okay, so these guys can be smoothed. All right, so now we're getting somewhere. Got to finish up this hand here now. It does feel a little a little stagnant, just like it's movement to movement. It doesn't feel like, organic enough. So how could we add some of that in there? I know that I slowed down this movement here. So let me see if speeding it up would make it feel a little bit more snappy. Okay. I think what I want is this one to feel a little more like, he's standing with the power.
Mommy, what's this?
Those are games.
Karate time!
All right.
It's the awesomest game. Isley, you're not allowed to. You game won't play on this thing. I know. Doesn't work. Oh, work on the big TV.
All right. Let's get you tied up.
I want it like this. It's good. I'm so excited to go. I want to see that little girl.
Oh, is she going to be there?
Maybe.
Oh, we have to go inside first.
Maybe not. Ow. Chicken wings. Bologna and chicken wings. The bologna and chicken wings. The bologna. I'm trying and chicken wings.
Oh, nice.
Bologna and chicken wings. Bologna, 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 bologna.
Okay.
Here's some bologna chicken wings.
Okay. Just keep your arms up.
What does the chicken wing say? I'm kind of adjusting my belt, so I know. Right here's my waist.
Here you go. Are you guys heading out right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Going to the library first.
Okay.
The library body.
I'm back. All right. Let's see if we can finish this up. Oh yeah, what was I was getting him down into position. Let's make him, we'll have him down like this because he is he's holding that power, right? He's like, yeah, got it. And he's going to be down up until this point, in which he will stand a little taller to hold it. So what I need to do is copy these, put him down. There we go. And he's going to well, I might have to hurry this up because I have some meetings to attend. So he'll drop here, drop, and then go up into his big stance where he's holding it. That looks pretty good. And I think all in all, I'm gonna pull this out a bit. I think it's moving a little too fast. Now it's a little too slow. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. But let's just see. Do I want to pull him over like this and then slide this foot over too? Let's have a look. Because that might be what I do. So instead of him popping over in that direction, or yeah, I'll have him move all the way over, and this foot will slide with it. So let's grab this guy, paste it, and we'll do smooth. Okay, let's see how that feels. Not too bad. All right, we'll move this guy here. And I'll move this one over so that right there we get this movement in the knee. Oh, you know, maybe instead of that, maybe I have him hold it above his head and triumph, like, I'm the master of this orb. Is that something we could do? I do have to get, love the foot slide, but the move to the right, very stage magician-y. Yeah, that's right. Did you ever see Presto? Oh man, Presto is such a great animation by Pixar. So it comes down. I think what I want to do is I can even pull him down a little farther, just to give him that go. And as he bends this way, maybe his hips turn. He turns. There we go. Smooth this out. Okay. It does look very magician-y. Yeah, I renamed him. Okay. So he's going to be here. We'll pull this down a bit too. There we go. So it comes up. Pull it down like that. And then up. Cool. Let's see if we can change the trajectory of this guy. Looks like that green one right here. No, magician-y's fine. Yeah, we were going for kind of like a or at least I was going for kind of like a badass, like he feels like he's holding the power of this orb and he's supposed to feel kind of like too cool for school. But magician-y's fine. I kind of lost steam with what I was doing, so whatever we get is what we get, and I will be happy with it. Oops, not that one. Nope. Let's zoom in here a bit. Can I even move? Yeah, I can. Okay. Oh, that's way too high. All right, so he's got this thing and moves. And it hits way too fast. So yeah, maybe I slow this whole thing down a bit. Or like hits too hard. It's not like smooth. It could be because of the Bezier. Okay. So let's go ahead. I'm not going to worry too much about this anymore. I feel like I'm wasting my time and your time. So let's have him hold the orb. So what we got to do is fix some of these arm movements. Okay, so this one I want to come down a bit. And I can lift that up. I'm going to delete all of this stuff so that I can really get it right. So it comes down. And right here, we have to have a switch. Thought I've seen them all, but I have never seen Presto, and now it's one of, oh yeah, my favorites. So Looney Tunes. Oh, you just watched Presto? Are you saying? Oh wait, no, you have seen it. Also, these poses in Presto are so freaking good. Yes. Yeah. When I saw Presto, I was like, Pixar, what are you doing with your lives? Like, replicate this, because that's amazing. The story. Oh, you watched it after I mentioned it? No way. Oh yeah, Presto is so good. That's so cool. I feel like rarely am I the one that gets to introduce somebody to something like that. So man, that's so cool that you got to see it for the first time right here. All right, so the arms come around. That's kind of nice. It's got a nice little flow to it. I think right here, maybe the arm is a bit too wide. And then we'll pull it back like so. All right, let's smooth this out. Let's smooth this out. And we'll smooth these out. And I'm just going to watch it, see how it feels. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I honestly am not. I don't have time to worry about it. All right, there we go. It comes down. Is there a way to default every new keyframe to smooth interpolation? It feels like it's the one that matters. Yeah, I'm sure you can. I honestly haven't I haven't gone through a lot of this, like the engine that runs this thing. I haven't gone into the settings of that to figure out what I can do. So I don't know. I bet you there is a way. I just haven't had the time to look at it. Okay. So this hand is freaking out. So let's see. Let's get in here. It's my rotation. That shouldn't move. So we'll push this all the way to here. We'll make this smooth. Let's change these guys to step. Right here, it's going to come around and then pop into that. Pop. Now let's watch. Okay, that's looking good. There's a little bit too much bend here in the body, and that is my dynamics, or yeah, my bones. So let me turn it off, just see how it feels. Okay, that's better. It was getting a little too bendy for me. So now what we can do is we can go back in here and start to animate it a bit. Maybe we'll pull this one out like that. Cool. All right, that's looking pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's all right. All right, so it comes up here with the orb. Maybe we'll have him toss it a bit. So then maybe at this point he comes up with it. And maybe he'll drop his arm down and then toss it up in the air. Oops. It tosses it. Maybe we'll do like just a little bit of move as he comes down. We'll bend all this like so. It comes down, and then we'll transition him back up. Head will come up, and rotate like that. And there we go. So he's going to be tossing this orb in the air for some reason. Let's have a look-see. So he tosses it. And orb will go up. Well, first the orb will come down. So we'll keyframe it there. Orb comes down. Right here, let's see. And it's going to come up. Maybe not too high. Let's go smooth. There we go, comes down. It's going to start to drop here. Oops. Smooth. I feel like maybe he'll drop it. What do you guys think? Should he drop it? Maybe open up a wormhole and get sucked into it? Let's see if we can do some Bezier movements on these guys. Okay, where am I? So it's going to come like this, hold, and drops here. Let's turn that one to Bezier. I like to use Bezier on movements that are very fast and they have to ease in. Because this is kind of where you can manipulate exactly how it moves. Is the plot that he somehow uses the power of this orb to create a portal? Drop it. Drop it and then a nosebleed? Like on his face? That would be funny. Oops. All right. Cool. Oh, that looks good. So the orb comes down, then shoots up. It starts to fall. Okay, so if he dropped it on his face and gave himself a nosebleed, that would be funny. That would be funny, but then the story kind of ends. It ends there, or at least it doesn't leave it open to. It doesn't leave it open to like a continuation. So if we did like have a portal open up, and he got sucked into it, then it would leave the question of, well, where did he go, right? And I think you always, or at least in this one, you want to kind of create that mystery of, well, where's the story going? And I want to find out more. Always leave the audience wanting more. So let's just for now, we'll have it start to come down, and then maybe it hits here, but then rolls off his fingers. So it goes up, and maybe about here he reaches out for it again. Oops. So right here he's going to reach for it. Throws it up. He reaches out. Maybe his body even kind of like rotates forward just a little bit to get it. Forward and up. And then I'll come here and Throws it up. You know what? Let's have his body drop a bit on the throw. So right here it's going to come down just a little bit. So he does that, throws it, he reaches, and it's going to bounce off his hand right here. Throws it up, he reaches for it. Oops. Guess I got those off a bit. Okay. We'll do a little head movement here. So he's going to drop his head down just a bit, turn it a bit more, and then reach back up. That works good. Reaches. We'll go up. Maybe the arm drops just a little bit to keep that momentum moving. Goes up and then comes up. Okay, he's extending himself like so. And right here, he will be catching the orb in his hand so it hits. Up. Good. Okay. Not too bad. He's going to sink down just a little bit. Squash him up. As he reaches for this thing. Okay, so this is where it's going to roll off his fingers and break, I guess. And I feel like I'm doing a little bit more than I wanted to, because Because then if I break it, he'll have to get sucked into this hole. Well, let's just keep going. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. What do? We swim. So it's gonna, he throws it quick. I'm gonna take this out. I want him to, there we go. He's gonna keep reaching for it. All right, so as the orb comes here, goes boom. I'll move it out like that. Boom. That's a little too fast. That's weird. Smooth it. Up. Goes up. This one feels weird now. What's going on? Should we do Bezier? Let's check that out. Now let's look at this movement here. Up. Let me see if I delete that and then pull this one out. Up. And then it comes, boom. There we go. Let's make this one Bezier while I'm here. This one should have been Bezier too. It's going to bounce off. Boom. Boom. All right, that's going to hit here. And be the end. Boom. Let's give it a little watch. That looks all right. Boom. So this little bump and then fall happens a little too fast. So we gotta pull this whole thing out just to make it feel like he has a chance to understand what's going on. Oops. All right, let's look at this one again. All right. When he throws it, that looks good. Timing and everything feels all right. Okay, so now he catches it, drops it, and boom. Portal will open up. Looks like the orb ran out of batteries. I want a refund. Boom. So if it hits here, I think what I can do is change the scale of it to look like it creates this big opening in the floor. This movement feels a little strange. Did we lose our... Okay. No. Okay. Todd needs a refund. So let's go. Let's keep going with this. He's going to do his thing. Man, I feel like I'm biting off more than I can chew at this point. Because I got a meeting I got to get to. So he's going to try to catch it here. Then maybe what he'll do is kind of like reach out for it here again. So then he'll reach out for it. Well, maybe he goes past it like this. Let's see. Oh, that looks good. So it comes, hits here. His hand kind of swipes up. Then this arm will come up like it's about to stretch out for it. Then it's going to reach out for it. Oops. Boom. Misses. Oh, swipes. Miss. All right, let's get this one moving a little faster. We'll have it come through right here. Smooth all this out. Miss. Oh. Miss. 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 We'll turn that out. This arm will come back. Misses, misses. Up. Miss. Oh, miss. Coming back down. Cool. The way it fell to the ground was hilarious. It felt like a battery-operated toy that ran out of power. I'm sorry, my observation. No, that's fine. Yeah. Oops. Uh-oh. Let's see how these arms trying to catch it look. Oh, whoa. That looks pretty good. I just need to change his facial expression, because now it looks like he's just kind of tapping at it. Boom. There goes up. About to catch. Oh. Also, I think it needs to come up just a little bit more to feel like it's coming out of his fingers. Oh. Now it feels floaty. Why are you floating like that? Oh. All right, so it comes over, tosses it. Oh. All right, not too bad. Bumps. Comes up. Let's change some of his facial expression. Let's see what we got to do. Maybe we'll go ahead and we'll lift his eyebrows, open his eyes up. Have him look up like this. So he looks up. Right here, maybe he'll drop his eyebrows again. Squint just ever so slightly. And right here, he'll really like open up. Like so. Have you found a way to transition into the actions? Let's say they're standing there and you insert the run action. It'll just snap into the run pose. Is there a way to morph to the run pose? Yeah. Yeah, so what you have to do is you have to get your keyframes proper. So what it's doing is when you have your, let's say your standing pose or your baseline animation, and then you want to put in your run action. When you drop in your run action, it's going to leave a line of keyframes that was your original resting pose, and you have to delete those. So that when you delete them, it'll go from your previous animation, which is the one you just did, and smooth between the two. I'll show you here, for instance. So we have him in this pose here. And let's say I just put a keyframe across the board. And then I come forward a couple more, and I want to put in let's say I want to put in oh shoot. All right. Oh no. So none of my, oh, you know what I need to do first? I need to save this. Before I start messing around, I need to save this. We'll call it orb drop. So let me delete all these actions because none of them are working for some reason. I need to import some actions. So let's say I import action 1, which I don't know, why are these not working? I feel like I need to save it. Don't ruin your work on my question. Too late. It's ruined. I don't know why my actions are not coming in, and I feel like maybe I just need to restart the program. Anyway, without me having to go through and figure out why it's not working, that's my advice to you. So when you import your action, it leaves a trail of keyframes that you have to delete in order for the computer to tween between the actions, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. All right, so it goes up. I'm going to slow down this arm movement because it is coming down a little too fast. Comes down. You know what that did? It made it look like it's bouncing off his arm, which is actually pretty cool. All right, up he goes. Oh. All right, so now let's go here. Oh, he's going to do a big blink. You get what I explained. Yeah, it always does that. So I'm not sure why, but I'm sure there's a method for the madness. So this would be looking up. We'll do a quick blink right here. So we'll change that in the eyebrows. Quick blink, boop, down, and then open. And this will be where our worried expression comes in. It's like, oh, crap. So I'm going to, oops. Sure, I should change the mouth pose at some point before this, but at this point, I am actually, let's get rid of the tilt. Because as he turns, yeah, this is where it needs to happen. His mouth is going to go to the other side. All right. Now right here, let's change it to be not very happy anymore. Okay. I need his head to really drop down right here. So it's going to go down and then pop up here. That's kind of funny. I'll let him just kind of like stand there, maybe staring at the hole for a second, not moving. All right, so it bounces off his hand. His eyes will be down at the hole. I'll take a little step right here just to get that balance. All right. Well, what do you guys think? What should happen? Got to make it quick, though. I've got like maybe 10 more minutes. So I'll definitely be staring at that. And maybe we'll have him do a quick eye movement towards the camera. Almost like, did anyone see that? All right. Anything else? What should we do? Should we have him just jump into the portal? Just like a pencil dive, just boop. Or should he... It's got to be a quick kind of movement. This is great. Now we get why he was on the run last week's episode. Yes. He has destroyed the fabric of space and time. And the scientists are trying to catch him. Or the government. Maybe he'll drop with it just a little bit. Oh, whoops. So at this point, we'll move him up and over. Maybe like this. And then this foot would need to come out more for the balance. That looks pretty good. Smooth it out. Let's see if these poses feel better. It goes up. Oh. Okay, this foot movement, we're going to have to figure it out because it's kind of doing... Maybe what we could do have him do a little step here. Like this. And then he'll do another little step. There has been some great tutorials about using targets to control up and down, left, right pupils. Pretty cool technique. Yeah, I need to do that. So if he jumps into the portal, it then connects with the animation you did last week. Ah, I like that. Look at you just connecting everything together. So step. And then down. Cool, yeah, let's make him jump. That'll be the easiest thing. He's got this. I love that he just like pauses mid catch, you know. And he looks into the portal like, all right, I'll have him look back to the portal right here. And then we'll have him do a quick jump into like a pencil dive right into the portal. And then it'll close. I like that. Oops. All right, so right here he's going to be doing the pencil dive. So let's go, like, we'll put a keyframe here. I'll have him step and come down. Arms will come up a bit. Torso will crunch, crunch. Head will turn like this, maybe down a bit. Smooth. So it comes down. It's going to really spring upward. Go into a this will be kind of where he gets the bulk of his movement. Go. We'll see how he's doing a pencil dive, so we're going to get his arms right to his sides. These will be reset. All right, so then this will keep moving up and over. And then we'll have down and over. And then he will just fall straight through. Oops. Okay. And we'll see how this timing feels. Smooth it all out. Let's just watch. Okay. He needs to kind of like fall through it a little quicker, but I like the way it kind of floats. So let's move this in. All right, we got to use a Bezier on this one. So let's go Bezier. Let's look at our curve options. I'll change this one to Bezier as well. Let's zoom in there. Okay, I'm going to push this one up like that and go like this. All right, now let's watch it. All right, looks good. So now let's animate the legs. Let's animate the legs and the arms a bit more. We'll see if the arms come up. Actually, the arms look good. That neck is a little wonky. I might have to fix that. All right, so we got a head movement that does not work. So I got to paste that back. Same with the head, or the neck. All right, so he's doing his thing, looking good. I'm going to, right here, I'm going to turn off the dynamics for the neck because it gets a little too floppy. Cool. Punchy, interesting, doesn't make sense, but that's okay. So now let's animate our head movement up and down. So this one can come up. We'll move this out and it will come down. And then right here, it will really come up, maybe not all the way up, but pretty close. Smooth it out. And then here is where it will come all the way up. Neck will stretch out. Maybe even body will stretch out. Let's smooth these. And then I'm going to reset the scale on that and the scale on that. All right, I want to watch this one more time. See how everything's kind of functioning. Nice. That feels really good. Okay, so now what I got to do is animate these legs. So these are going to be kind of snappy. So this foot might come up like this. Maybe we'll go like this. Okay, that's not too bad. Now this foot will come over here. I'm going to keep everything straight. We'll do that. Okay. All right, that moves over way too fast. Let's go and smooth all this out. No, why did that happen? All right, come here, you. You're supposed to be back here. Comes up. So it keeps coming up here and over. So we'll move this up and over. Oops. And it's going to start to rotate. Maybe, come on, maybe flatten out a bit. Gotta be kidding me. Not that one. That one. Boom. So it jumps. There we go. And by this point here, the feet will be up. You have to be kidding me. No, point the leg like that. Let's smooth this out. All right, seems like I'm gonna need a Bezier curve here. Let's look at what's going on. So we'll pull this out. All right, that's looking good. It just bends right there too much, and we can fix that. All right, let's finish this movement through. I'm going to pull these way down. Let's see how that leg looks. I love it. Okay, now let's just do the other leg and be done with it. Okay, so this is going to be my jumping leg. This is the one that the character is going to actually be using to power the jump. So we'll start with the toe here. Then I will animate the position here and the rotation, and I'm going to reset all this stuff. Okay, so that works. The only thing I don't want is the rotation to be happening just yet. So I'm going to push it back to about here. Oh, that looks good. Let's smooth it out. So this will move out and over, maybe up just a little bit. Smooth it out. Okay, and then we're going to have this come down, and we'll do our Bezier curves on this one, or on this one actually. So we'll do Bezier. Cool. So let's come back into this guy. We'll zoom in just a little bit. What is it, my green one? Or is it the red one I need? It's the green one. So we'll pull this all the way over. Perfect. And then we'll pull it all the way out here. Let's have a look. Did we accomplish it? I think we did. Okay. Well, guys, I'm happy with the way this one turned out. I'm going to take a little time to maybe polish up a couple things, maybe add sound effects, and then I'm going to call it a day right here. Another successful live stream. I want to thank you guys all for joining. If you stuck around for the whole thing, that's amazing. I don't know. Yeah, good. Thanks. And if you just saw a little bit, thanks for stopping by. And guys, yeah, I always love these things. I don't know where they start or where I'm going to go, but by the time I'm done with it, I'm always happy. So thank you guys for allowing me to do this and being a part of it. And I'll see you guys next week. So keep animating and do something cool. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. I got to stop and end the stream. Peace. Adios.